Histograms. So if we have numeric data, we want to see their distribution, right? Then histograms will play a good role in that scenario. So the base R version of histogram is to use the hist function. If you say hist and then df dollar, for example, mpg, you want to see how the distribution of mpg looks like, and we have our histogram ready right there. So that's the base R version. How can we do this? Using ggplot. Let's go here, ggplot, down a bit, okay. Plot. Do the dataset name, df, and then aesthetics. By the way, I also want to show you this. So df, we can put it outside and pipe it into ggplot, right? It will be the first argument within ggplot. And then we can start giving the aesthetics right away. So on the x-axis, I want the MPG. And that's it, because right, the other parts of this frequency will be calculated by R. I'm not going to provide the y-axis there. I will say geom histogram. This way I can create this histogram plot in ggplot, right? So by the way, you see kind of quite a bit difference there, because the number of bins used in ggplot was larger. They used 30 bins by default, whereas this one has only, I don't know, what, 8-9 bins or so. So that's why it looks quite a bit different. So the number of bins will affect, right? Another parameter that will affect is the bin width. So how large do you want each bin to be? So this is the bin width from here to here. My mouse. So that will basically affect the number of histogram, number of bars being created in the histogram. So if we go with 2, for example, let's try it. Let's see if there's anything different. Yeah, it looks a bit different. This is a bit larger. Make it even larger. Let's go with 6. Not sure. Okay, so now we have much less bins. Now it's quite similar to the one created by base R, but I think that was more like maybe 4. Yeah, kind of like that. This shape here, it's kind of similar to this. Maybe 5 could be more. Yeah, I think 5 is the correct word. Well, almost. You know, we can't exactly get the same thing, because the starting location of this histogram is also important. So this one starts from all the way here, whereas this ggplot starts from a bit to the right, it seems like. So those are some of the main things to consider in histogram that might lead to differences there. The width, the starting location of the first bin, and then the number of bins. But again, the width and the number of bins basically, you know, are complement to each other. So here, let's do the coloring as well, and let's see how that will affect. So df, then pipe it into ggplot. Use aesthetics, x equal to mpg. Fill this in based on the different cylinders we have. Right, if I run this, canvas is created, plus geom histogram. Geom histogram, and if I run this, okay, I get basically the histogram created for us, right? Yeah, so when you use different colors, this is the effect. Let's add alpha here. Alpha 0.5 maybe. Yeah, so although this didn't really improve, so let's keep 1. So now this plot is, again, by default, it's a stacked plot, just like the bar plot we created before, where it was stacked. This is also stacked by default, okay? And you can, let me get rid of this alpha, and let's say position stack, you will see the same figure in quotes, of course. Okay, it's the same figure. If I were to take this, put it here, and rather than stack, I will change this to identity. It's called identity here, not Dodge. So if I run this, you see now they will, each one will have their own like own histogram. Now actually, if I make use of alpha, you will see that, you will see the impact of that. So you'll say, let's equal to 0.6. You see, so this is the yellow one, so this is for 8-cylinder vehicles. This is the green one, so there is some green here as well, right? So for 6-cylinder vehicles, the average MPG distribution is like that, because they will have their own location, and you know, they might be on top of each other. When I say on top of each other, based on the MPG value, they won't be stacked like this, you know, one above the other, but basically they will be overlapping each other. Maybe that's the better word. And you can see the impact of that when you use the alpha value, as you can see. All right, so that's bar plots. I'm sorry, that's histograms.